So I'm Dr. Mickey McComb-Kobza.
I'm Terry Motherall, and we are the PTO presidents for Hygiene Elementary. We do hawk air every year, so it started 5 years ago, I think it was, and we've gone to different countries. So this year we kind of wanted to do something different and new because we were the new PTO presidents, and with the help of Renee, we came up with a out of this world idea.
To go to Pluto. And you know, one of the exciting things that we found this year is that the focus was put on the students, and students were involved from the very beginning of the idea of going to Pluto, and every single grade was able to talk about problems and issues that they would overcome on Pluto. And so that became each grade level's project and their vision and their dream of how to achieve that. And that really propelled all of the students to be very involved with the teachers and ultimately with the parents. And so as each grade level created their own project, ultimately they did prototypes and their dreams started to come into realization, and then parents took that and went with it and created what you see here in Hawk Air today.
Here we are. Now we're walking around Pluto, and it's fun because they're so excited because they built it.
And you know, one of the other things that I think has been amazing this time is the fact that we were able to bring in so many community partners. And so this year we've been able to work with Dr. Kathy Olken from the Southwest Research Institute, who actually was downloading real data from the New Horizons mission, which was absolutely incredible. The kids got to meet her, talk to her, interact with her. We had Dr. Leroy Chow come from the Space Foundation, which is absolutely incredible for them to meet a real astronaut who'd been on the International Space Station and spend time with him. It was extraordinary.
And we had Pat Rawlings come out who showed the kids how to do art and how to look at what comes back from NASA and make it into pictures and make it into something that you can look at and love. And all the kids then learned from the Denver Art Museum, the Natural History Museum, how to draw space art as one of their programs.
Yeah, so it's been an incredible opportunity, and I think one of the things that we like to think about it is the destination, but I think in this case for us it's really been the journey, having so many people engaged along the way, and then having the students come today to see what all of the other grades and students have been making, and to see it all come together has been absolutely magical.
Absolutely.
Eyes on Longmont, offering a diversity of topics about our community that will inform and entertain you. We invite you to sit back and enjoy this edition of Eyes on Longmont.
I'm Sherry LeGrand. I'm the STEAM coordinator this year. This is the first year that we've gone STEAM, and we have taken on this school-wide design challenge this year of colonizing Pluto. So what we did is we started with that big question in the beginning of the year, and by October we had come up with different basically themes or problems for each grade level to take on. And so kindergarten, their problem was how might we create a sustainable food source for Pluto once we colonize it. First grade, they were in charge of how might we create a sustainable water source for Pluto's colony. Second grade, they were in charge of how might we survive in extreme conditions. And so one classroom thought about the dwellings that people would live in, and the other classroom thought about the spacesuits that people would have to wear. In third grade, they took on a social studies standard, and so they were thinking about how might we colonize Pluto as far as the plan for the community. And they also thought about the government piece. Fourth grade, they focused on how might we travel on Pluto. And fifth grade, because they study the human body, they thought about how might we stay healthy physically and mentally on Pluto.
Boys and girls, are you ready to go to Pluto? I am so excited. You are now in Mission Control Center getting ready to put your suits on. here is my suit. Remember, it's going to take us 9.5 years, so please be sure to say your final farewells to your family and to your friends. Get your suits on. I am going to go ahead and head up in the shuttle first. As we know, we are going up to Pluto to colonize Pluto. So I want to go a little bit early to get situated. Have a very safe flight, and I will see you on Pluto.
Pluto, where everything's huge.
Yeah, there's no gravity.
Yeah, because that's what happened on the first moonwalk. They got
Do you know how much taller than Scott Kelly get?
Can you see my lens? Make sure you can see with both your eyes so your faces are right looking this way, and we're going to do some great smiles for your mission photo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Do you want to see me? I look so stupid. I'm going to get the mic.
These are adorable.
5. All 3 engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
As we enter into space, we'll be passing the moon. The first planet we'll be passing today is Mars. Mars is a cold desert world. It is half the diameter of Earth and has the same amount of dry land. Like Earth, Mars has seasons, polar ice caps, volcanoes, canyons, and weather, but its atmosphere is too thin for liquid water to exist for long on the surface. There are signs of ancient floods on Mars, but evidence for water now exists mainly on icy soil and thin clouds. The next planet that we'll be passing is Jupiter. Jupiter is the most massive planet in our solar system and has dozens of moons. As you can see while we're passing it, you can see one of its moons. The next planet we are passing is Saturn. Saturn is adorned with thousands of beautiful ringlets made of chunks of ice and rock. Saturn is mostly a massive ball of hydrogen and helium. The next planet we are passing is Uranus. Uranus is made of mostly hydrogen and helium and methane. Methane is what gives Uranus its wonderful blue tint. The last planet we will pass before our approach to Pluto is Neptune. Neptune is 30 times as far from the Sun as Earth, and it almost takes 165 Earth years to orbit the Sun. In 2011, Neptune completed its first orbit since its discovery in 1846. Hang on, as we're approaching Pluto, we'll be landing soon. I hope you enjoyed your 9-year journey through our wonderful solar system and the outer reaches to our final destination of Pluto. Welcome to Pluto. You made it through the 9-year journey through our solar system to get here. Please exit carefully and go down the ramp and through the door and enjoy the new colony that has been built on Pluto.
Pluto, and I hope you had a nice long trip to get here. I am, and we have a presentation here. It's kind of hard to hear, so I'll kind of go over it after it's done to tell you what they had to share with you.
Hi, my name is Julian Hansel. And my name is Jacoby Barber. And we are the representatives of the 3rd grade class. For our design challenge, we concentrated on a Plutonian community and how we might create a government on Pluto. Through our research, we learned that there are a lot of steps in creating a community and a government. A community has 4 main zones: business, industrial, residential, and agricultural. We also learned that a community needs laws because that's how everyone gets along and gets work done. Thank you for joining us on our mission to Pluto. We look forward to hearing about your journey and mission when you get back to Earth.
Good afternoon, hygiene soaring hawks, and welcome to beautiful Pluto. I hope your journey the last 9.5 years was wonderful. I am now 58 years old. The last time you saw me was down on Earth at Hygiene Elementary in Hygiene, Colorado. Now I am 58. I came up here, boys and girls, 6 months before you traveled so I could get set up and help colonize Pluto before the whole school came. Kindergartners, you are now in 9th grade. You are freshmen in high school. I hope your journey was a great one, and I can't wait for you guys to see Pluto. I sure hope everyone brought their coats and gloves and hats, because it is cold. I'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Linda Emmerman, music teacher at Hygiene Elementary School. My part in presenting Pluto to the students was to create a national anthem. So the students in the 5th grade decided on their background music theme, which they happened to choose the Star Wars theme by John Williams, which was very appropriate for our national anthem. They then composed lyrics to the song. I took the song, John Williams song, into GarageBand, and we cut and pasted some of that together to make it fit for our lyrics. And we've been fortunate to present the lyrics to the New Horizons team that we got to visit in Boulder last month, and they were very excited to have the national anthem of Pluto in their possession. So we were also able to sing it throughout the building for our Arts Night program, and also involved with the introduction to the capital at our planet, Pluto, when we arrived. So I was very pleased and honored to be able to present that.
All right, good job, guys. Now, if I could bring everybody's attention over here, this is the map of the colony that was created on Pluto. It's a little bit of what you're all going to see today. In the middle here is the capital where we are now, and this is where government and laws are. We're going to see a house on Pluto. There's a greenhouse where we create our food so that we obviously can survive. There's water facility because we need fresh water to drink. There's Ski Pluto. There's a recreation center so that we can get our exercises. There's a hospital for when we need medical attention. And as you can see, there's a lot of different things that had to be thought of as far as resources and how to create a colony. Back here you can see that these are the laws of Pluto. The laws are that we need to be safe, we need to be responsible, we need to be kind and respectful, and of course there should be no open flames. So I hope that you guys are excited to have your journey through Pluto, and if I could, I need to break you up into about 3 groups, and then Jody will come and take you to all the different stations.
Hi, my name is Chucky. And my name is Shelby, and we are the representatives from the first grade class. For our design challenge, we concentrated on Plutonian water and how we might get water on Pluto. Through our research, we learned that first we would have to mine the ice. Second, we have to use an RTG to heat the ice and melt it. Third, we give it to the fishing plants in the same tank. Fourth, we will use a water filter. Fifth, we will use a UV light to clean the chemicals, germs, and bacteria out. We will keep the clean water in a storage container. We will use plumbing to deliver it to all the houses. Thank you for joining our mission to Pluto. We look forward to hearing about your journey and mission when you get back to Earth.
So once the ice is mined from Charon, we take it and it goes through this conveyor belt, and it comes up and it goes into an RTG. So what do you guys notice about the ice?
It's red.
It's red. Why is it red?
Because it has iron.
It has iron. It has all kinds of other minerals, but that's the color it comes to from Charon. So it goes into this RTG. And what's an RTG do? It creates heat, right? It creates heat and electricity. I'm going to turn it on here for you guys. And so this simulates the melting of the ice. So it uses plutonium to create the heat. And out in this outer area is where all the water comes to. So we're melting the ice as we go. The next step then, once the ice is melted, is it's going to come through this silver tube, and it's going to go into this container. And this container, you guys can come closer and check this out. So what do you see in there? I think maybe over that way. There's fish in there. So what we have is, this is aquaponics. So what we use is we use the fish plus the plants to oxygenate the water as the first step. But if you look at the water, it's kind of yucky, right? So imagine if this was like a lake. There'd be algae and other stuff in the water. So the next step is we need to filter out all of those big particles. So we'll take the water and it'll come through this black tube, and it comes in to this filter. And if you guys come around this side a little bit, what we have is a 3-stage filter. It's gravel and charcoal and sand. And so what happens is the water goes from the fish tank and it goes into the filter, and it kind of rains down inside of there, right? So what it's doing is it's separating out anything that's a large particle bigger than the sand will get trapped inside this filter. And the one thing it doesn't do, what's in this water that it might not be trapping? Stuff we can't see very well. Chemicals and germs, right? So anything that's in this water that it's not ready to drink. So we've got to clear it out a little bit more. So you can also see the color of the water, it's still kind of dingy brown. So that we're going to clean out too. So the last step is this ultraviolet light sterilizer. So the ultraviolet light will kill all the bacteria and microorganisms that live in the water. So it's just like washing your hands before you eat, right? It's the same idea. It kills the bacteria. And the next step then is it goes from here and it goes into our main storage tank. And this is the water supply for Pluto. And it also is the water supply. This blue line takes it over to the greenhouse where all the plants are.
Hi, my name is Isaac from the 7th kindergarten class. Our class concentrated on Plutonian food and how we might feed the colonists on Pluto. We learned that Pluto is 3 billion miles away from Earth. It is very cold there, so we built a greenhouse for the plants. Our greenhouse is in a dome so that the plants will grow. We hope you like our thinking.
Hi, my name is Annika.
And my name is Travis.
And we are representatives
From the kindergarten class.
For our design challenge, we concentrated on Plutonian food
And how we might go for on Pluto.
Through our research, we learned that there's no water on Pluto, but there is water ice.
We learned that plants will grow if they had light, warmth, and water.
Thank you for joining us on our mission to Pluto. We look forward to hearing about your journey and mission when you get back to Earth.
Do you remember what that process is called?
Filter.
Aquaponics.
Oh, yeah.
Aquaponics. Now, they clean that water so it's nice and safe and we can drink it and use it, and we're using it to grow our plants and for food. What do we have here?
Lettuce.
Lettuce and some plants and flowers. How about here? Potatoes and herbs. What do we usually grow these in? What do we use to grow these?
What did we use to grow them in, or what?
Where do you plant the seed? Usually on earth.
Yeah, in the dirt.
Dirt, we use the soil. Now here, there's no soil, we use the water. This is called hydroponics. So using the mineral nutrients in water so that we could grow the plants and the food. Now the kindergartners needed to come up with an idea of how to grow these plants and this food without soil. Now bringing soil to Pluto would be super heavy. So they needed to come up with this idea, and I thought the idea they came up with was brilliant. They brought sponges. So they have the sponges, they're good, they're light, and they suck up the water, right? So that was perfect. They plant the seed, and then the roots grow down, and then the stalks come up. Hydroponics, growing food in water. And then we had the method of cleaning that water, which was called the aquaponics. Very good. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, thank you so much for coming. Enjoy your stay in Pluto. Thank you. You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Avery Lee. And my name is Kenla Murtaugh, and we are representatives from the 5th grade class. For our design challenge, we focused on Plutonian health and how we might stay healthy both mentally and physically on Pluto. Through the research, we learned in order to colonize, we have to keep everyone entertained and healthy. We also learned that we need the Schumann frequency to keep calm and happy. We were thinking of bringing a Schumann resonator so that we could spray the Schumann frequency out on Pluto. We need the Schumann frequency so we don't go mentally insane. We were also thinking of getting a hospital to keep everyone healthy on Pluto. We would use RTG to keep all the electronic resources running. Thank you for joining us on our mission to Pluto. We look forward to hearing about your journey and mission when you get back to Earth.
We're here in the tent of the physical and mental ability in space. So we have the sand for the Schumann frequency and the trampoline for just some exercise, because when we're in space our bones get thinner and they extend. So we want to try to keep our bones and muscles in our legs and our body healthy. So that's why we have the trampoline, and then stand for the Schumann frequency. When we're in space, and since there's no gravity, so we kind of float around, our bones start to get thinner and they extend. So it could lead to physical disability of your legs or something, or some harm to your legs or body. So if we want to prevent if we don't want our bones to start shrinking and getting thinner, then we can use the trampoline for exercise, so it can keep our bones of our legs healthy and strong, and also our muscles in shape.
So now that you've been picked up in the drone and brought over to the medical tent, so I would really want a doctor, maybe a surgeon, good couple of nurses on Pluto. What do you think some of the most common injuries might be that would bring you here?
Maybe a broken bone or something.
A broken bone, even if you're tethered to your rover, if a big wind comes through or those crazy storms.
Hi, my name's Alexis, and I'm a representative from the Dynas 4th grade class. For our design challenge, we concentrated on Plutonian Transportation and how we might move on Pluto. Through our research, we learned that for our vehicles to work, we needed a power source, an RTG. We can also use an RTG for heat. We also learned that we should put spikes on the tires of our vehicles to grip the ground. We also learned that glass on Pluto would break, so we could not have any windows because there's very little oxygen. Our vehicles would need a camera and a screen instead. Thank you for joining us on our mission to Pluto. We look forward to hearing about your journey and mission when you get back to Earth.
Hi, my name is Insat, and I am a representative for Mr. Heveron's class. For our design challenge, we concentrated on Plutonian Transportation and how we might move around on Pluto. Through our research, we learned Pluto is icy, cold, and has not much gravity or any air to breathe. The transportation design was a fun challenge. We did it by following the design thinking steps: empathy, define, ideate, prototype, test. Thank you for joining us on our mission to Pluto. We look forward to hearing about your journey and mission when you get back to Earth.
This is our 4th grade rover, and we made it with our entire class, and we call it Tinker because Tinker Mill gave us a lot of the materials to make it. Okay, so this is our food tray. It has dried ice cream, dried apples, energy bars, cookies, and dried fruit, and this is a cup holder which you could keep your drinks in. This is a food storage where you could keep your food refrigerated. Our satellite dish, the Hygiene Elementary flag, the NASA flag. These are our seats, our controls to do the direction that we're going in, and to turn on the air. This is the escape hatch, like if there's something bad going on inside the rover, then you could escape, you could get out safely. Okay, so this is the front half of our rover. This is what would be driving most of the time. These two things are RTGs. They're radiothermal generators, and they would give us heat and they give us power. Down here are our spiky wheels. Spiky wheels are going to dig into the ground and make it so we stay on the ground because there's no gravity on Pluto, and without them, we'd fly up. Here is our Hawk Air Pluto flag, and right here are 2 cameras. We have to use cameras because glass shatters, so we can't have any windows. And so we use the cameras that connect inside of the vehicle, and there's TVs inside of them that make it so the drivers can see from the camera's eye. And that's all. And on the other side, there is an American flag. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Autumn, and this is Avery. So what we have here is a one-person vehicle for going to Pluto. We thought that if you want to go to a long-distance place, then you don't want to just walk there. So we made a one-person vehicle. So in the inside, we have an RTG. So the RTG will run the The RTG will run the car, and it will also be the main heat source for keeping the car warm. And then inside we also have one seat, so that there's also one seat inside, and there's a TV. So the reason that there is a TV is because Pluto is negative 350 degrees, so we wouldn't be able to put glass in the car or else it'd shatter. So what we did was we put a TV screen instead of a window, and we put these cameras, and these cameras will help us see where we're going and what we're doing.
Then we have a satellite that did to see like far away and like get connection and everything. And then over here you can't really see it, but there's this picture and Autumn do it, and so we tried to base that off of doing this.
And so if you can kind of see that we have wheels, and they are actually pretty sharp. So they are wheels so that the wheels will hook onto the ice so that you don't just go floating around in space.
And Tinkermill helped us with everything.
So thank you.
Hi, my name is Adam. And my name is Porter. And we are representatives from the 2nd grade class.
For our design challenge, we are concentrating on plutonium extreme weather and how we might survive extreme weather on Pluto.
Throughout our research, we learned we need to use aerogel and heat sheets to survive the extreme weather on Pluto.
Thanks for joining us on our mission to Pluto. We look forward to hearing about your journey and mission when you get back to Earth.
So this is the house the 2nd graders built. So this is where you would live if you went to Pluto. And so when they were thinking about what they should build, because as you know, it's really windy, it's really cold, it's really icy, and the atmosphere falls, right? So they were like, we have to build something that's really strong and really light. So they looked at shapes first, and they talked about which shapes are the strongest and can withhold the most forces. And they learned that the triangle and the honeycomb, if you can look inside here, you can see the honeycomb shapes, are the strongest. So they put them together. And inside the honeycomb, of course, it's open. And they knew it was really cold. So they're like, we need something that would insulate us and keep us warm. So inside of here, if you hold this up to the light, you can see aerogel. And aerogel is something that was created by NASA as an insulator. And it's super, super light. By the way, this is the honeycomb shape in here is also from NASA. It's a NASA sheet that they used in, well, it's not the exact one they use in New Horizons, because the one in New Horizons is aluminum, and this one's made out of cardboard. So they filled the honeycomb up with aerogel, and then they used heat sheets on the outside, which are kind of thick and warm, and it would stop any of the ice from coming through. And then on the inside, they used a really strong mylar, which is the silver color, to protect them from anything that would hit them, right? So this is what the 2nd graders, if they could have made the whole house out of this is what it would have looked like. So then they thought about, well, what would we want to bring with us? And they wanted to bring a cot to sleep on and a sleeping bag, and they wanted to bring something cuddly, and they wanted to bring a kitchen because they needed to cook. And then behind you is pictures that they thought that they would want to bring with them. So there's family, there's pictures of trees and a few other things, and of course their laptops, because you have to be able to Skype back to your parents and talk to them, huh? So that is the house. What do you guys think? Did you live here? Yeah? It's pretty awesome. So, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Hi, I'm Kelly Klein. I'm the art teacher here at Hygiene Elementary. I'm standing in front of the 4th grade display of their design challenge for Hawk Air Pluto. They were given the challenge of researching flag design and coming up with a design that would represent our mission to Pluto. They created it in Paint first, and then they used iPads to use digital apps to create a digital image of their flag, which they then shared with their classmates. They used iPads also to go online to vote for their favorite design, and that design was chosen as the official Hawk Air flag. And the winning design is right here by Autumn Rutherford in 4th grade. So we're very excited for all of the designs, and that the kids were able to vote for their favorite one. They were really excited about that.
So I am actually the creator of this flag design. So my art teacher, Miss Klein, said that your design has to be simple enough so that it's not super detailed. So what I did was I did a black background, which would be space, and then the blue and the red, they are for NASA, and I thought it'd be cool to incorporate NASA inside my design. And then the white circle inside stands for Pluto, and the hawk inside the whole thing stands for hawk air, since this is basically representing hawk air.
We actually went to the New Horizons lab in Boulder. They came out in October to talk to us, Dr. Olkin, and then they invited us in January to come to them, and we did a virtual field trip with them. That virtual field trip was awesome. It was a great opportunity for us to be invited to where they are doing all this work for the New Horizons mission. And so Renee Collier, our principal, me, our PTO presidents, and our music teacher, Linda Emmerman, who actually met Dr. Olkin last summer and kind of got that all going for us. We were all invited, and we also brought Michael O'Toole with us, who's our science coordinator for the district. And we created a virtual field trip for all of our kids here. And so we basically did a live broadcast to all the classrooms for about 45 minutes, and we did it through Adobe Connect, and it was really cool. The other thing that I want to remember is all of the supporters that we've had on this journey. And so, like I said, Dr. Kathy Olkin and the New Horizons team. We had Pat Rawlings come out in November, and he's a space illustrator, and so he brought in that art piece for all of our kids. Dr. Leroy Chow came out last Friday with a Space Foundation, and so that was really amazing to be talking with an astronaut who's been on the International Space Station. Of course, Tinkermill has been a huge help to our, more than just fourth grade doing the vehicles. That information helped many of the grades. We had Dr. Roger Billica come. He is a former NASA physician, and he spoke with the fifth graders, and that's how they got thinking about having vitamin D lamps. So we've had amazing support this year on our journey.